Okay, hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to be showing a program called Outpost PPM. This is the program we use in Okara, that's Ottawa County Amateur Radio Auxiliary, and I will be showing you how to set it up and use this program with an ICOM IC9100 radio. I haven't seen any videos on using Outpost with the ICOM IC9100, so I figured I would go ahead and make one. Pardon the right side of the screen here. I've got GR level 3 running right now, and just keeping an eye on some cells and some of the storm attributes and warnings. Anyway, so we'll get started here. I won't go over the installation of Outpost PPM. It comes with a with an installer. Just follow the on-screen instructions, and you should be good to go. One thing I will say, you will come to a point in the installation where you can do a customizable install. And I think what would be best is just to click everything and just install everything. That way you have access to all of the templates and things. So I would say that's probably going to be your best bet. All right, so having said all of that here, first things first, if you've watched any of my other videos related to Packet, you know that the IC9100 by ICOM operates a little bit differently than other radio manufacturers in terms of the COM port PTT control. So I need to use this lovely program here um, in order to use PTT control with my ICOM radio. So I'm going to go ahead, and I won't go through this again, but just so you know, you will need this program. If you need to look back at my other Packet videos, link will be provided in the description down below, or in the upper right corner, possibly, if I can figure that out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this so it opens up the port here. Next, one other thing that we're going to need to do is I'm going to be using Direwolf for this. So very quickly here, I'm going to show you the config file for Direwolf. So to do that, I'm going to go to here, and I can't remember if it's in here or if it's in program files. Yeah, I can't remember where it is now. Let me see. Actually, it might be in this folder. Yeah, Direwolf. Here it is. We need to open the config file, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and it's just going to use Notepad, and I'll go ahead and expand it here. I know I showed this in my Direwolf video, but I'm showing you the config file here because Outpost PPM requires the use of AGWPE, that's AGW Packet Engine. And Direwolf not only supports KISS, but also supports AGWPE. So you just need to go ahead and come down here, and I'll try to find it for you real quickly. And sorry if I go past it, possibly. There's the PTT stuff. I'll find it here. Sorry, guys, it's just going to take a minute for me to find. Yeah, I think I went too far. Let me scroll back up here. I probably just went too fast. All right, let's try this again. So this is the sound configuration right here. I didn't do anything here. I uncommented out the 1200. Let's see. Left that stuff alone. There's the PTT. I did all of this. Here it is, right here. AGWPE or AGW port will be commented out, so just uncomment it and make sure you use 8000, and then for KISS, it will be 8100. Okay, so once you've made these changes, go ahead and save. Now, the nice thing is if you're using Direwolf for KISS applications, you don't need to come back in here and mess with stuff. You don't need to, you can run both AGW and KISS at the same time. It doesn't affect Direwolf at all, which is really nice because I use WinLink Express, and that uses KISS for VHF Packet, so I can just leave this as is and flip between Outpost and WinLink Express and go from there. Makes life so much easier. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up. Direwolf here. And there's Direwolf, and as you can see, it's all ready to go, and it's ready to accept AGW client applications on 8000. So we'll go ahead and we'll fire up. Actually, I already have Outpost fired up. This is what Outpost looks like, Outpost PPM. And it looks like an email client, except you use this to access bulletin board stuff. It's really cool. Now, the first time you open this, you're going to have some information to fill out. You're going to fill out your call sign, things like that. And in fact, this is what you're going to fill out right here. You're going to fill out the call sign, username. Don't worry about this other stuff. You can set up a profile if you want. It's up to you. And you don't really need to worry about BBS logins and signatures. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit cancel because I don't need to do anything here. The next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to set up your interfaces. So you're going to come to setup and you're going to go to interface. This is where I struggled to get this working, and I finally figured it out. So if you're running an IC 9100, you may need to click new to make a new connection. Type in an interface name. I just typed in my radio name. Description, you can type whatever you want in here, and the interface type, you're going to do AGW Packet Engine. So select that. When you select that, it's going to gray out all these tabs up top except for AGWPE. So go ahead and click on AGWPE. Your remote host, you're going to leave it as the home port, as the home ISP of 127.0.0.1. The remote port is the AGW port that you set up in Direwolf. In our case, it's 8000. Don't worry about network timeout. It's probably 5000 milliseconds or something like that. So don't worry about that. I did not need to change the radio port. I just left it as 1. And don't worry about remote login for anything like that. Once you have this all set up, you can click apply and click OK, and you should be good to go. Next, you're going to go to BBSs, and here's where you're going to set up your BBSs. So I'm just going to pick one that I've programmed in. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on new. So you get a new template. And then you can type in a friendly name. You're going to type in the connect name and a description. As far as the BBS type and non-identifying BBSs, don't worry about this. I'm sure most BBSs, just let Outpost determine the BBS and set up the prompts for you. So in this case, I've got Dave's BBS, as you can see here. Prompts. This is grayed out, so don't worry about it. Commands. Unless your BBS you're trying to connect has different commands for these things, just leave these as default. Don't worry about initialization commands. Retrieving. I have mine set up to retrieve private messages only. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is stuff you can play with. This doesn't affect access to the BBS, but you guys can play around with this and figure it out. Path. This is really important. Access method, either direct BBS. In other words, if you're in close range of the BBS you're trying to access, just go direct. In my case, in order to access this particular BBS, I need to digi. So I've checked this bubble here, and I've just connected to KAOEC-7, and that is what I'm using for digi. And I didn't worry about anything down here. So there it is. There's how you would set that up. And I'm now going to click on send receive. You guys won't be able to hear this, unfortunately. I'm using a headset boom microphone today for today's video. So I'm just going to click the send receive button here, and this is going to trigger my radio. And yes, it is triggering my radio. And this will take a second, but in a little bit here, you should see connected to station pop up here. And we'll see how long this takes. I wish I could give you guys the audio, but there it is. So we're connected here. And the rest is pretty much all automated. So if you're used to multi-PSK or mixed W, and you're so if you're used to those programs, it's pretty much just automates all of that process for you. And what it does is it will put all your personal messages and everything right here. So it's kind of like an email client. In fact, I will do a test demo. And that's it. That window closed. As you can see, I have connected. It checked to see if I had any messages to send. And if I had any messages awaiting on the bulletin board, in which case I had neither. So there had nothing going out, nothing coming in, and it disconnected. And that window went away on its own. So that was that. But I'll show you guys real quickly just kind of a simple message here. So I'm going to click on new. Actually, let me explain this real quickly. So that's for one BBS. If you have other BBSs that you want to access, what you're going to have to do is come to Setup BBS, bring the drop-down menu here, and then you have to select the BBS that you want to use. Then you can click OK. Then when you click send receive, it will use that particular bulletin board. So I hope that makes sense. That is the only drawback to Outpost, in my opinion, is if you're a part of multiple bulletin boards. So that's just a heads up for you. But now I'm going to do new. And I'm going to send a message to KD8VUN. And we'll just say, hi. Okay, so that's it. As you can see, you can type in the BBS connection manually if you'd like from my call sign to this is a friend of mine who checks this bulletin about maybe a couple times a week. And then your subject and the body of your message. So that's how this works. I'm going to hit send. Now, kind of like WinLink Express, that's going to put it in the out tray. And as you can see, there it is. There's the message here. And I could always come back in and edit if need be. So there it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and click send receive. It'll connect me to KAOEC's BBS. And we'll see if I have any messages waiting for me there. Otherwise, it's just going to send this message to Aaron, and you'll see what happens on the screen that pops up right in this area. Here we go. Okay, we should have a connection here. There it is. And a message saved. So my message sent. I had no messages. We're disconnecting. And there it is. That's it. That's all there is to it. And as you can see now, the out tray is empty. There's my message now in the sent area, and that's that. Now, you can actually also use this to access WinLink. You can set up a WinLink for Packet. This will not do WinLink, Vara, RDOP, WinMore, Pactor. So this won't do any of the HF WinLink stuff. This will only do WinLink VHF Packet. So I can show you that real quickly how that looks. So there's one extra step you have to do. First, you need to make the BBS, and I'll give you an example. So we'll do Dave's WinLink node here. So there's his gateway. And one other thing I should have mentioned too, guys, and I'm sorry I didn't do this. When you're setting up bulletin boards, I forgot to mention the TNC name. Remember when we set up interfaces and we defined the radio and AGWPE and all of that? You have to tell each BBS what method of connection it's going to be. So in which case, you're going to have to click on Get TNC. If you only have one radio, that's the only thing that should pop up. Hit Apply, hit OK, and it should show up right here. So you have to do that for every bulletin board system. But the nice thing is, once you have one set up here, you can copy it and it will make a new duplicate of the settings, which is great. Then you can change. So it's really not that big of a deal, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So my apologies, I forgot to mention that earlier. Okay, so we've got Dave's WinLink node here. Perfect. The extra step that we're going to have to do. So this is what I want to use. I'm going to hit OK. So there we go. I've hit OK. I'm going to come up here and go to station ID. This is important. You need to make login information, bulletin board logins for WinLink stations. So as you can see here, I've got this, and I can double click it here. So what you would do is you click New. You'd have these fields blank. The BBS name, give it a friendly name. The login, just my call sign. Leave the user connect password blank. WinLink account password. You need to put your WinLink account password in that field there. And a description. Type whatever you want in here, just something helpful. Hit apply, hit OK, and you should be good to go. So I'm going to go back to BBS here and just make sure. Yep, so that is selected. I'll hit send receive, and we'll see if I have any WinLink messages waiting. I shouldn't, because I checked it earlier. So let's see what happens here when I connect to his node. All right, so it's connected. And now it should connect me to the Amazon cloud server. And this takes a little bit. And it's going to look different. If you're used to WinLink Express, this is going to look a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. So it's doing all the connection things and everything right here. Here we go. Yep, see, it's going to see if I have any messages. No pending messages. Okay, and I had none going out. So there's that, and it's going to disconnect me. And I'm just waiting for it to, there it goes. Okay, so that was a WinLink Express, or I'm sorry, a WinLink VHF packet session using Outpost PPM. Now, if I wanted to send an email to somebody, so as you can see here, since I went to set up BBS and selected it, it's automatically going to do this. So I will do a message to actually, I think I can just type in his call sign. I'll just say hi. Testing. Oops. Sorry, guys. That probably looked goofy to you. Sorry about that. Okay. So we'll see if this works here. So I will send this, and I'll send and receive. All right, we've got a connection again. Now, unlike WinLink Express, where you can type in a call sign or an internet-based email address like a Gmail address, um, in this program, if you need to send an email to a non-WinLink address, you'll need to type in SMTP colon and then the email address, and that will tell the WinLink station, oh, this is a IP, or not an IP, but a an internet. This needs to go out over the internet. So that's that here. So let's see here. All right, so it looks like the message sent, and still no messages. So now it should be disconnecting, and it is. And there it is, guys. So that's it. Um, and again, if I needed to send an internet-based thing, I would just type in SMTP and then the email address that's internet-based. All right, guys, that's it. Just wanted to give you a quick demo of Outpost PPM and how it works, and how you can use an ICOM IC9100 with Outpost PPM. If you like this video, hit the like button. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, 73s, and have a good rest of your week or weekend whenever you're watching this. Take care. Thanks again.